Hi, friends. Very, not blushed evenly. Excuse me. That's better. Today we're diving into both Natasha Denona's Zendo palette and Urban Decay's Born to Run. Most of you had presented a possible comparison video, so I thought, you know what, let me dive into these palettes and who cares what I think, but if you just wanted to see them both in action and kind of make a decision based on if you already have Born to Run, you don't need Zendo, or you don't like either color story, well then great. Thank you for hanging out anyway. If it's your first time here, hi. I'm Alicia. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you are returning, well, thank you for visiting me again. KINKYSWEAT stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I'm a fitness professional who loves things all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeup, you can head over to my Instagram. Divine Rose is not in the background. There she is. All right, before we start, that's enough. I actually had to go and search for my own video and see 2 years ago we have the first impression worth it when I was doing those types of thumbnails, and a year ago I did a diving back in where it was just playing with it again, seeing what we liked, if we want to use this again. So man, 2 years ago I wanted to mention that because with powder shadows, they can get a little dry and lackluster, but this has been kept pretty well in a cold space. Well, it's summer now, so I guess we're have good timing. Previous summers before, but what happened? The AC was on, it's fine. I don't know if we're gonna get the same punch as if we were diving into a brand new Born to Run, but just so you keep that in mind. Let's start by just putting these palettes up against each other. They do have very similar color stories, but I'm actually looking at this now. I feel like Zendo has more red. If you check out Born to Run, Born to Run primarily relies on the magentas and the oranges and the coppers, whereas Zendo is with the red and the peach. Similar with the blues and the greens, however. Why don't we do some quick comparison swatches? Yeah, fam? I want to quickly compare, of course, Relief to Still Shot. So here's Relief from Zendo, and here is Still Shot from Born to Run. Now again, Zendo is going to have a lot more punch, I think, in general, compared to Urban Decay mattes. I'm sorry about that. That was from Jump Rope. Clip my forearm like whoa. And this bronze shade here from Zendo, this is Sense. It's like a pinky bronze shade. From Born to Run, we have Double Life. We also have Ignite. Let's see here. Double Life. Ooh, Ignite. Ooh, dare I say, Sense is like a mixture between those two. Double Life is a little more true bronze, whereas Sense has more of like that pink tone in there. I want to do Stranded and Blaze, although I feel these are definitely more gold. Yeah, for sure. Whereas from Zendo, Luster, I feel is like the one true kind of gold moment, which is more yellow in tone. We could also do Tranquil, which is more of like a pink metallic shade. Kind of reminded me what is this shade doing? Blaze is like that champagne with the pink flip. Smog is like more antique. Now another matte shade that can match, Riff, which I immediately thought of Balance. So let's do Riff. I'm running out of room here, but this is Riff from Urban Decay, and we have Balance here. Let's see, from Zendo, will that turn out a little more peachy? Yeah. Well, they're very similar. I would say Balance has a little more, well, I think they're the similar color, but this shade, where is it again? Riff has a little more brown to it, whereas Balance a little more peach. Mindful doesn't have a metallic equivalent in the palette. I'm gonna have to switch forearms, fam. So Mindful, I believe, is like the cream to matte formula, whereas we might have to dip into Punk, which is a true matte from Urban Decay, and Good as Gone. These are a lot deeper, and I think the advantage Born to Run has over Zendo. The deepest shade in Zendo is like an army green. It's not even a brown. So if you're not comfortable using army green, then, you know, you will like Born to Run a lot better because they still rely on the neutral shades. Although this one here, Punk, is like a deep plum brown, and Good As Gone is more like a neutral, like cool bark brown shade. If we were to roll into the greens, Equilibrium, Flow. Equilibrium is the teal from Zendo. This is like the silvery blue. We also have Mantra, which is the other creamy matte in here. This is more of like an aqua. Or is this teal? I don't freaking know. And then if we go into Born to Run, we got Radio, Big Sky, and Wanderlust. Wanderlust is more like a forest green moment, I think. I don't know what's going on out there, but don't they know I'm filming? Here we go. So definitely there's a lot more shine from the blue silver from Natasha Denona, but Big Sky is similar. You can definitely add a little bit of setting spray to zhuzh it up. I guess Wanderlust coincides with Zeal. I have a video just using the blues from Born to Run. I was at Maddie's old apartment. Whoa, that feels like forever ago. So let's get into it. I'm gonna wipe. Okay, eyes are prepped. So let's head into the first color. I think I'm gonna go in with Relief first. So Relief from Natasha's Zendo. There's a little too much brown on that brush. I had eyeshadow on before. I actually applied 420 and then wiped it off. Wanted, you know, something fun to teach class with. And now with Still Shot, the peach from Born to Run. This is definitely a little lighter in consistency. It doesn't have the same punch as Relief does, but it's cool because I would then maybe use a different brush to pick up more product. But I think Still Shot is more so for like that blend out peachy shade, whereas Relief is like the peach matte in Zendo to kind of make a statement with. All right, so those are the two colors. Okay, we could go with either Riff or Balance, but I want to choose colors that the one doesn't have. So for instance, in Born to Run, there's no red, but there's no magenta in Zendo. So with that said, I'll go in with Vigor. People were saying that I was saying it wrong. Why am I saying Vigor? Because I'm like, well, Natasha said Vigor, so I thought it was Vigor. Vigor. Gonna punch that red matte onto the outer V, overlapping Relief. So this is going to be, you know, more of a red peachy moment. I'm gonna take some on the inner corner as well. More Relief on the crease. Just pulling both those sections together. Okay, now if we were to dip in Born to Run, I'm actually gonna go in with Breakaway. What? Breakaway. With a fluffier brush? No, Hell Ride. I'm sorry. The palette was upside down. I read it wrong. I'm going to tap on Hell Ride on the outer portion of the lid. Hell Ride needs a little bit of zhuzh. It's a little drier, and I think the nature of the color, this is what I've encountered in other palettes as well, with that magenta-like shade. Tends to be a little drier in consistency, but you know what? I'll apply Hell Ride first, the matte, but then I'll go in with Wild Heart, the magenta metallic. That, does it have like a flip in here? I'm not entirely sure, but since we're overlapping the two, we're going to get a little more impact. And I think this is where the palettes go their separate ways, you know, in terms of like, well, what's different? Well, these colors, definitely different. All right, Zendo side, Born to Run side. What we can do maybe is go in with, well, for the Zendo side, we could go in with Tranquil, like that pinky metallic shade. I'm actually going to go in with my finger and tap on the center of my lid between the Vigor brackets, those matte shade, the matte shade that I placed there. Yeah, to just get a little bit of shine. From Born to Run. Ooh, we don't have a guilt trip. We don't have guilt trip or purpley something something in Zendo. I could do Accelerate. I can do Ignite. You know what? Let's do Ignite. It's like a coppery moment I think will be nice with or between the magenta. It's a little drier. I think it's having a tougher time sticking on top of Hell Ride and Wild Heart, but it's okay. I could have always applied more primer there, but you know, we're just gonna deal with it. It's fine. Vigor on the lower lash line here to set up, you know, whatever I'm planning, I'm scheming. And then Wild Hearts on the lower lash line on this side. But the thing is, you know how I love to shove eyeshadow on my inner lower lash lines. So I think I want to go in with Yama because there is not a duochrome besides Blaze. Blaze is the champagne with the pink flip. It's very light, it's very subtle, so perhaps appropriate to use as an inner corner highlight from the Born to Run side. Although I kind of want to, let's see here, I think I want to go in with Stranded. I'm going to go in with Stranded for sure. It's not like a crazy shade, it's just like a champagne shade, but I think nice to apply in the inner part of the eye. And then Blaze more on the inner corner. So I'm not sure if you could pick that pink flip up, whereas Stranded is more like champagne gold and Blaze has that light pink flip, which I think looks pretty nice with Hell Ride and Wild Heart. And a little more Yama here on this inner corner. Okay, so here's round one. I didn't put any lashes because I think I want to save the lashes for the blue look. You know, we could have went in with the caramel brown shade and whatnot. I think we could get the gist that you can create similar looks with Born to Run. Will it be the same metallic formula and matte formula? No, but you can still make that shine happen by perhaps using setting spray with a lot of the Born to Run metallics. And I do think is a little more comprehensive. You just have a lot more shades in here for those who want to keep it more neutral, a little more low key, like with this quad here. And then you can get a little wild by integrating the magenta shades. Because I forgot, you also have Weekender, which is like not a crease shade for everybody. But if you were my skin tone or lighter, the only like transition-y type of shade you got is Balance and Relief. And Balance actually, I feel, packs a punch even on my complexion. If you wanted something lighter, you have Weekender and Still Shot, still the same peachy tone, but if you don't want the same punch that Relief has, then you have a little more control with Still Shot from Born to Run. All right, I'm gonna wipe this off and we're gonna get into the blues. See you in a minute. We're back. Hold on. We're back. So I was thinking about the blue-green looks for both palettes, and I realized that you can actually fully commit to like a green-blue moment because you have Zeal and Calm, whereas in Born to Run, you can blend these out. I've done that before. I've actually hailed multiple metallic formulas that can be blended out into your crease, where you don't have to rely on a matte to do so to create that look. So I think I might have to do that because I don't want to bring in another brown or bronzy color to downplay the impact from the blues and the greens. Hokuto brush with Radio. Radio is this teal shade from Born to Run, and I'm placing it on the outer part of my lid, foist with a packing brush. It's actually on the larger side, as I now want to use that through the crease. So again, I actually would rather do this with a metallic from Urban Decay and not necessarily Natasha's metallic, because Natasha's metallic has a little more chunk to it. There's these specks in there that I feel are not blend out friendly. They're lid showstoppers, right? So you see, I was able to achieve a kind of a shape, kind of, using the metallic shade from Urban Decay, so you can totally do the same. Fluffy, brushing it up on the crease on these edges so they could look nice and diffused. It's not too bad. That's looking real nice, okay? Now, we can actually go with Big Sky, or we could go with Wanderlust. And Wanderlust is the forest green from the palette Born to Run. I'm going to place that on the majority of the lid, actually. Make a little gradient and overlap the first shade, which is called Radio. My short-term memory is shot today. And now Big Sky, which is the more aqua moment. You know what? Let me use a different brush. I think I want a little more from that color, you know? Ooh, yes. Surratt brush. This is what I need. I could get up and get my Fix Plus. I could. I'm just gonna stay here. Combining Wanderlust, Big Sky, Radio, so it could look nice and smooth. That's quite nice, don't you think? And basically mimic what I got going on top, now doing that on the bottom. So Radio on the outer part of my lower lash line, Wanderlust through the center. If you wanted to get crazy, you most certainly can apply a liner on your waterline. I rarely do that because I'm lazy, so forgive me. Big Sky, going in with my Refer 23. Their restock just dropped. So if you want more of, you know what, I think I might get more of these 23s, fam, because this is a essential brush. I actually like to use the 23 to whip some shadow like right in my lashes here, and even get a little bit on the waterline. I wouldn't recommend that you do this if you have contacts on. I took mine out so my eyeballs don't fall out. Now for the other eye, I wouldn't whip Equilibrium, but I would whip Mantra through my crease. Taking the same packer brush with Mantra, which is Natasha's cream to powder formula, I'm going to place it on the outer part of the lid. Get it there first. Now, I did mention, because unfortunately I feel the cream to powder formula can get a little hard pan and you have to dig in there sometimes. But I think Mantra is actually doing pretty well. It's not super hard pan. I'm picking up ample color. And in the same fashion, I'm going to whip that in the crease with the same brush like I did with Radio from the Born to Run side. And just carefully shape this out. This is my bad side. Rehearsal side. I feel like it could get out of control real fast. So that's why I'm being ultra careful here. And I only have 25 minutes left on this SD card. So can we make it, fam? I'm going to leave it just like that. I'll fix it later, okay? You know what? Fix it now, Alicia. Don't be silly. I'm going to fix it now. I'm going to whip these edges. There we go. There's that blur. There it is. Now we could go in with Equilibrium right away. Do I want to add in a little bit of Zeal? Zeal is the army green shade, which we most certainly can. We can, just to see what it does. Let me make sure I wipe this brush because I don't want any of that color influence to sabotage my work. Pulling it over Mantra. So now we're going from like this aqua teal moment to more of an army green, hitting closer to the inner part of the eye. Also using it to like smooth out Mantra a little bit. With my finger, I'm taking Equilibrium, okay, and placing that on the lid. Overlapping Mantra. Yeah, so it could have that really nice depth of color. And then I want to take Flow with my finger and place it on the inner part of the lid. And because we're now getting real tight up in this corner, Refer 28 to better kind of shape, y'all. So Big Sky, I think Big Sky has a little more, I want to say there's a little more green in there. You know what I mean? It's just a touch more. Did you all see the Lisa Loeb Geico commercial? You say I only hear what I want to. I got so nostalgic. I went back to watch the original video and I was like, oh my gosh. I miss the 90s, man. 90s, early 2000s, like where music was just so exciting. It was all about the videos too. Like when an artist was about to drop a new video, I was pumped. Now I'm just like, depending on the artist, I still get pumped. But it's not the same. It's not the same. All right, okay. Let get it together. Mantra here on the outer lower lash line. I'm actually going to take flow on the majority. You know what? No. Yes? No, yes? What are you doing? Calm. Breath. I called the wrong color when I was mapping out my look. Breath is the cream to matte, like pastel. Mint is the pastel mint, which I think really nice to put on the lower lash line here. So I'm trying to melt these two together so that they can look cohesive, bringing in more mantra. And again, the 23 is so great to get shadow in between the lashes so it doesn't look spotty. I know it might not look like that to you from where you're looking, but I can see it from here. Ooh, that's nice. I want to fluff this out a little bit more. Feel like it could get a little more even. That's good. That's good. All right, now we could put some lashes on, okay? Because this is the finale. I know we only did, well, 2 looks, I want to say, even though they were from different palettes. But I think we can decide which one is best for us. I think we already arrived at the conclusion that, yeah, Born to Run, you don't need Zendo. Absolutely. If you wanted to try Natasha's formula, and because you love Born to Run and you think Zendo will be a good match for you, then that's a totally different conversation. But if you're looking to be practical, you know, color-wise, you can create not only similar looks, but probably more looks, considering that Born to Run has black, it has the dark browns, it has the purple metallic, you know what I mean? So you could really go wild, and that's why Born to Run is my all-time favorite Urban Decay palette. Hands down. Because the versatility, I think, is unmatched. You have all these shades in Born to Run that work so well together. You can separate them, you can combine them. And the reason why I like Zendo, however, is that it's more edited, and it definitely challenges you to perhaps combine shades that you don't think would work. Combining, for instance, the warmer shades with the cooler blue shades. Definitely Zendo perhaps might inspire a little more of that, because you don't have a choice. You don't have those matte browns to kind of judge color with. You either got to commit to like the peaches, the greens, or what have you, whatever you choose to do. So I would say that's the advantage Zendo holds over Born to Run. But I think the original assumption, which is the most important one, the point is you can create similar looks. I mean, no one's going to be like, is that caramel brown from Born to Run or from Zendo? Like, it's a caramel brown. And I'm sure we have multiples, different versions of caramel brown is our collection, right? I'm going to put on a little more matte trance. Dream Lover. Stop. I'm wearing this all the time. Here's a wider shot from both looks. And even from that distance, I don't think you can tell that I use different palettes. I mean, you might be able to tell maybe on the Natasha Denona side, the outer corner is leaning more green, teal, and the Urban Decay side is truer blue. I mean, but that's like splitting hairs. In the end, if you have Born to Run, keep it. In the end, if you have Born to Run, you don't need Zendo. Unless you want the red. Unless you want the red and the pinky bronze shade. And maybe like a more punchy peach matte. That's up to you. So you can definitely recreate looks potentially from Zendo if you have Born to Run already. Do I like the design of Zendo better compared to Born to Run? Absolutely. This to me is just gorgeous. The packaging hands down wins with Natasha, but that's not really the point, right? It's what's inside, and again, you can make it happen. If you still want to try Zendo, I get it. I think more appropriate for you to even consider that if you don't have Born to Run or you don't have a palette that combines these shades in the way that Urban Decay does and Natasha Denona does. You could even make your own palette. If you're into singles, maybe this video helped you kind of inspire that in your mind, and now you're going to go into your collection and put together your peaches and your icy blues and your green blues, right? So you can have a Zendo Born to Run moment, however you want to do it. Thank you for joining me. I hope this video helped, and I love doing comparisons like this. Let me know if you want to see another one, and I'm open to any ideas that you might have. Let me know down below. I will see you down in the comments. And with that, friends, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I will see you on here again with another review tutorial, eyeshadow palette showdown, monthly favorites, or lunchtime chit chat. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.